Anytime you open Create a Sim, or any character creator in any game really, you have an opportunity to tell a story. That story can be serious and dramatic, or lighthearted and silly. The choice is yours. This focus on story is how I create Sims, and this is the Hardy family. Prisha Hardy is a practical woman. Her family was such a monumental part of her life growing up in their big house in Glimmerbrook, always surrounded by cousins and the ghosts of her ancestors. It was the expectation that made her feel sick. Of course she would marry another spellcaster. Of course she would raise her children as spellcasters. Of course. And then she met Freddie. It wasn't practical. She wasn't being practical when she met him in hidden corners of the family grounds, when she told him her dreams and planned a future with him that her family wouldn't approve of. But when she looked at him, it was less him she saw than the hope for something her family had no control over. When making her, I focused on making a woman with strong, distinct features, but still had a sense of vulnerability and a bit of playfulness. I used Simone Ashley as a model, with some changes to her nose and cheeks to make her a bit more suitable for The Sims. To style her, I wanted her to be sort of gentle and earthy, with soft, flowing fabrics and floral prints. I was picturing the kind of woman that walks barefoot through the garden with her hair down, or strolls through the forest with a basket in hand. Which is, curiously enough, how Freddie first saw her. Frederick Jameson Hardy III grew up as the son of an important politician in San Myshuno and a socialite. When they were on vacation in Henford on Bagley one autumn, he wasn't expecting to meet Prisha picking mushrooms in the woods for her family's cellars. Freddie didn't want to follow in his father's footsteps, spend his days schmoozing high rollers and accepting bribes. He loved being out in the woods, sunlight warm in his hair as he worked in his wood carving and watched the girl with the mushrooms, smiling up at the sky. I wanted Freddie to have a kind of youthful charm to him, a kind of innocence that someone as practical as Prisha might find attractive. When styling him, though, I focused on a mixture of what he wanted to be and how he grew up, a mixture of comfortable clothes and more stiff, formal pieces that he would have worn a lot for his mother's parties. His traits reflected this too, cheerful to reflect how hopeful and positive he was, and materialistic to reflect his past wealth. Prisha and Freddie got married, and Prisha never told her husband her secret. They moved to Newcrest partially with Freddie's family's money and built a life with their two girls, Robin and Uma. Robin is very active, and that activity reflects as a short temper in her youth. Just about to turn 13, she is intensely curious about her mother's odd behavior. Her mischief leads her to get into trouble constantly. I styled her to always wear trousers and never skirts, focusing on comfortable clothing that she could move easily in. Her hair is pulled back and shorter than her sister Uma's or her mother's. I was trying to keep her style not too feminine and mostly focused on utility. This is all in direct contrast to her sister. Uma is 10, neat and proper to the core. She hates her sister's mischief and would much prefer curling up in her room with some music or a good book. Everyone in the family spends their time outside, but Uma loves the indoors, cooking the fruits of her family's labor in the kitchen instead of working in the garden. She wears dresses, skirts, and neat Mary Janes. Her hair is longer and straight, parted neatly down the middle, and she wears braces so that even her teeth are as orderly as the rest of her. She's usually fully covered without a hair out of place and in crisp, solid colors. She hates mischief because she disapproves so strongly of her sister's behavior and likes wellness like her mother. Meditation, stillness, these are all things that Uma finds beneficial. It would be interesting to see what might rock her world. Prisha mostly tried not to use her magic over the years, hiding her family's spell books in her trunk and gardening from the seeds that she had taken from her family's ancestral gardens in Glimmerbrook. As time has passed, and with Robin just about to enter into her powers, Prisha and Freddie's marriage is in shambles due to her secrets. Sometimes it's just not enough to be in love. And while Prisha frets over her daughters and hides, Freddie is finding new friends in the local market. This is where the household begins and the story opens. Freddie and Prisha could stay together or separate. Freddie could find out or not. The girls could live as spellcasters or not. I developed their story to create options and potential for branching storylines. This video is the first part in what I believe will be a 3 to 4 part series. Here I focus on Create-A-Sim, but the next part will focus on creating story through house building and decorating as I build the house for the Hardy family. Then we will set up the household, including assigning degrees, switching occult status, and so on. After, I may go through the process of showing how I built the backstory by developing Prisha and Freddie's families in Glimmerbrook and San Myshuno. If you like this video, please comment, like, and subscribe. My name is Sarah, also known as Witchling Simmer, and I post Let's Plays, rotational gameplay content, and focus on storytelling. You can find me on Twitter as Witchling Simmer and my website, www.witchlingsimmer.com. Thank you so much for watching, and have an awesome day. Bye.